time where Chelsea were producing the best strikers. Not producing, essentially, they tend to always get the best strikers in the world at a certain point in time. Yes, there were times where there were blips, but the story of Chelsea's carries number 9 jersey, the story of the men that have donned that jersey, the story of the failings of that jersey, and the stories of the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, and how Chelsea have failed to replace Didier Drogba for the long term has been the bigger deal, the bigger question. For Mauricio Pochettino, Todd Boehly, Baghdad Bali, Joe Shields, Paul Winstanley, and everybody in and up around the technical and tactical area of Chelsea Football Club. So this is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you. Join me on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm grateful. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Do turn on notifications and do choose all as you turn on the notification. Do choose all in there. My name is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Hey, let's get to it. First of all, Chelsea is in need of a killer. So mark my words. The word is need a killer. But when? How? When do Chelsea need this killer? This killer that has so much eluded the team. But again, do they need him in January? Is it the 2 guys that we keep on speaking about? Who is this killer that is so need? Are Chelsea lacking goals? No. Are Chelsea suffering in terms of chance creation? No. Where is the team with respect to all of these things? And where are they with respect to where Chelsea wants to be? It is a debunking the myth session of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, where I debunk the myth. Oshimen isn't needed in January. Enjoy. So, earlier on in the season, Chelsea were creating chances but failing to score. Nicolas Jackson was there failing to score. But in recent times, he seemed to be getting the goals. He seemed to be getting the job done. He seemed to be manipulating the ball better. And that's the reason why in the last few games he has been good. Mind you, before the last but one international break, the international break before the last one, Chelsea had a lot of tough teams on the horizon. And people began to say that, oh, they can't be this, they can't be that. Arsenal, Tottenham, this, that. Chelsea will be blown away. They'll be in a relegation battle by the time the next international break comes. Chelsea went to the next international break. They had beaten a chunk of teams and they were doing very well. It was the rugged nature of Newcastle that made it tough for them. Now you see, if you want to put the Newcastle game again into perspective, you go back and then you look at the fact that Newcastle makes playing out of the back useless. They are just one of the teams that debunks the myth of playing out from the back. They essentially make it look like you don't need to play out from the back to be an excellent team, to play good football, to play electrifying football. You don't necessarily have to play out 2 men splitting. No. You can go long like Brentford. You can win second balls, but it has to be quick, piercing, sharp attacking transitions in there. And that's exactly how Eddie Howe and his team have thrived. So if you want to play against them, you need a method that is tried and tested to beat a team like that. And I'll take you back to last night, Champions League game that they played against Paris Saint-Germain. It was a game that Newcastle showed that they don't need to play out on the back. Yes, they're a small team from the north side of England, but they know exactly what they are doing and they got the job done. So, yeah, so in the last 9 games, Chelsea have won 5, drawn 2, lost 2, which is not bad return after all, given the kind of teams that Chelsea have played. Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, and they played some tough teams in there. Newcastle United, it has been tough. Now, when I analyze Chelsea and the feelings of goal scoring, I go back to Diego Costa, I go back to Didier Drogba, I go back to the feelings of Fernando Torres, I go back to Tammy Abraham, Romelu Lukaku. So we'll pick them one after the back, and I'll tell you why I think some decisions to go in and get someone like Victor Oshimen Tactically may make sense, but in terms of precedence and history, there may be some question marks for that reason. Again, is it Ivan Toney or Victor Oshimen? How do you come at the decision to choose between these two prolific strikers, especially for Victor Oshimen, who has showed it on not just one stage, the Italian Serie A, German Bundesliga, and the UEFA Champions League, and in his country's colors for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Right, so how do you make some of these analysis in there? But first of all, let's start with Fernando Torres. So Torres, before he joined Chelsea, was doing excellently well at Liverpool. He was almost a cult hero. Everybody loved him in there. They gave him all the praises, all the showers, everything that he needed as a player. Then the big money move came in at the time. He was going to jump ship and join Chelsea Football Club. Fast forward, Torres did win the Champions League. He scored a very important goal in the lead up to Chelsea's win of the Champions League. But then the bigger test, the bigger worry was how he said in interviews after that of how he was thrown into depression at some point in time. His feelings of not getting goals that Chelsea needed at that point in time really did worry him. Away from Torres, Didier Drogba has been brilliant for Chelsea. And there's one thing that cuts across every striker that has been brilliant for Chelsea: charisma. Charismatic, enigmatic men that are aggressive and on fast by everything that you throw at them. But then mind you, people forget this thing every time. Didier didn't have an excellent first season. Didier, he did not have an excellent first season. His first season, his returns weren't that good enough. And he had to build when Mourinho guided him to build his confidence. So now the question is, do you think for someone like Nicolas Jackson, who is in fact having a better first season at Chelsea than Didier Drogba had, under the tutelage of Mauricio Pochettino, may come good? So if you are making your decision as if Oshimen should come, or Armando Broja should go, or Ivan Toney should come, you know that you are making a double decision, because you would have to make another decision of either of Armando Broja and or Nicolas Jackson leaving on loan. So what decision are you making? Are you going to be patient for Jackson because he's outscoring his XGs now? Or you think that the team needs to win and win now, they need a killer by force and he has to come in January? It is part of the analysis that you have to take in. Again, the returns of Nicolas Jackson has been good. Hold up. Yes, there are frailties to his game. Yes, I think that sometimes he's too lethargic. Sometimes he's too calm. Sometimes he needs to be more aggressive. The ball has to stick so he can play forward. But these things are all questions that you need to answer when he gets in there. Now, that's the story of Didier Drogba. Fast forward, Drogba was a king of London. He's still a king, legend of the club. Now, there was Diego Costa. If I describe Diego Costa as charismatic or enigmatic, that would be an understatement. That would be literally under describing what really made the Brazilian or Spaniard, anyhow you want to beat him, a great striker at Stamford Bridge. I think the best way to describe Costa and his exploits as an attacker and a striker was that he was menacing. Menacing. It's like your darkest fears, your darkest nights or biggest wars, when they come at you. That is what Costa was to opposing centre backs. He was menacing. He was in their faces. He was aggressive. He was a physical specimen too. Maybe if Erling Haaland is different from him, he's only different in the fact that Erling Haaland is more ruthless than Costa. Haaland would want to score 6 goals in a game from 6 chances. Costa may score 2 or 3 and you'll be okay. So Haaland may be more ruthless, but Costa is a little bit more menacing than him. After that, there have been a sad story of a host of strikers that have failed. Timo Werner, Alvaro Morata failed woefully. For Morata, also depression at some point in time. Timo Werner wasn't happy, clearly. And then you go back into the story of Tammy Abraham and then Romelu Lukaku. But yeah, so all of these contests is the fact that you ask yourself, this is a big decision for the club. Now, mind you, there's something people do not realize. Oshimen has a niggling injury. So the reason why teams like Arsenal and Chelsea need Oshimen is because he is a killer. So in terms of he being a killer, in terms of getting somebody in the box who is an aggressor, who read every ball in the box, who can manipulate the ball, who can get in behind, and when he gets in behind, with one chance, he buries it. Then Chelsea need Victor Oshimen. But the injury record of Victor Oshimen, the injury of Victor Oshimen, is not exciting. And it is in this line I ask myself, do Chelsea need someone like this who is going to get injured left, right, center? Because they need him to come in and hit the ground running. So a lot of people have said, okay, then Chelsea should go for Ivan Toney because Ivan comes in, he has experience in the APL, he'll get him running. He'll hit the ground running. But not Victor, who has, maybe we need some time to acclimatize. Maybe also the fact that he has some injuries. He has some injuries that's worrying. Oshimen's numbers are not worrying. His gameplay is not worrying. His charisma is not worrying. It is the injury record of Victor Oshimen that may be the bigger problem for the team. And it is in the light of this that you go back, you do the analysis and look at it and say, maybe Chelsea doesn't need Victor Oshimen. So yeah, in my conclusion, I conclude that Oshimen is actually not needed in January. He's not needed, especially in January. It affords the team much more time to look at Nicolas Jackson and Armando Broja, because there are going to be much more people, different players who are going to be doing the scoring. Reece is back. You have Cole Palmer in there. You have Nkunku, you have Raheem Sterling. You're going to have the two strikers as well who can do the scoring for the club. Now, you don't necessarily need a killer now. Maybe in the summer, but not in January. Yeah, guys, so this is where time will allow me once again. Fiifi-Manfred, forgive me. I've strained my voice again. Forgive me. Yesterday, I got into some unnecessary arguments with a couple of friends. But yeah, it's not going to happen again. Thank you for choosing me. My name is Fiifi-Manfred.